done fighting. In every way. I'm done fighting.
Waving the white flag?
I'm done fighting with the media. I'm done fighting with my coaches. I'm done fighting with Rex Ryan on Get Up. I'm done fighting with y'all on social media. I'm done fighting. Because whenever somebody brings up, like he said, like, you know, the true success is built on God and God's the one who can open all these doors. Is this Shedeur James Jones kind of just saying, like, I'm going to be the guy going forward? Shedeur Sanders didn't get in the game when they were up 31-6. Yeah. It was game over. Yeah. They were up 31-6, and then if y'all remember in the loss 2 weeks prior, Shedeur didn't get into the game when they were losing clearly and handily. Yeah. I think Shedeur just now realizes the Browns don't want me to play. They are not playing me under any circumstance.
Yeah. The Dolphins had their backup in the game. Why would you not?
Correct.
Yeah, it made no sense.
Well, that's because Shedeur's a different.
Just keep getting at the same question, and none of us had the answers. So maybe you could give us the answer. Why aren't you getting any reps with the ones at any point?
I don't think that's not my place, you know, to answer, to even be able to give the answer to that. I feel like it's not in my control, so I'm not even gonna think about that or have that even in my thought process of why it is. Like, it's a lot of people that want to have the opportunity to be at this level, and I'm here and I'm thankful to have the opportunity. So
Shedeur Sanders just dropped a bombshell, and when I say he broke his silence, I mean he really broke it. The Cleveland Browns quarterback, who's been keeping low-key all season, just came out swinging on Twitter, and this post wasn't some polite, I'm staying humble type message. Nah, this was pure fire. He came in hotter than Dayon's pregame shades, and the way he spoke, straight attitude and truth. Fans have been whispering for weeks about what's really going on behind those locker room doors, and now Shiloh's finally letting it all out. Every secret, every slight, every shady move from the coaching staff to their so-called favorites. This ain't just drama. It's mayhem. The energy around the Browns just flipped overnight, and it's about to shake Cleveland like a halftime earthquake. Make sure you hit that subscribe button because this story is about to explode. The Browns have somehow managed to turn their quarterback room into a straight-up identity crisis. The same team that once thought Johnny Manziel was the future is now out here rotating quarterbacks like contestants on a reality show called Who Wants to Waste a Franchise Talent? It's messy, it's chaotic, and it's all playing out in real time. Right in the center of the madness sits Shedeur Sanders, calm, confident, and way too sharp to get caught up in the circus around him. You'd think by now the Browns would have learned their lesson, but nope. It's like they're stuck in a cycle of hype and heartbreak. Every decade they find the one, crown him like a savior, and then burn his career down like it's some twisted ritual of wasted potential. And this time, Shiloh's making it clear he's not going down like the rest. Trust the process? Please. Cleveland's been trusting the wrong process since the 90s. But here's where it gets icy. Shiloh ain't playing that game anymore. He's not out here begging for pity minutes or throwing sideline tantrums like some frustrated rookie. He's chilling, calm, patient, moving like someone who already got that message from the universe saying, relax, your time's coming. Everyone else is still trying to catch up while he's 2 steps ahead. Shedeur Sanders isn't just another young quarterback praying for a shot. He's the calm before the chaos, the quiet storm just waiting to strike. While everyone else is tripping over egos and excuses, he's sitting back, watching, mastering his craft in silence. And when he spoke, it hit deep.
And again, it does not bother me in any sort of large way, but what it does speak to is they continue to put all of the eggs in the Dillon Gabriel basket. And they have not been shy about that in any sort of way. And it's not surprising to me. No part of this is surprising because this is how they've treated Dillon the entire time. He's always gotten the favorite child treatment, the golden child treatment, and that's okay. They've decided to do that. But to what you're saying, then you have to be right about this guy, and he's got to be better than what you've seen. And again, like, do I think Shedeur, when he wins the job eventually, is going to turn around and be like, oh, thank goodness I had those 10% of reps as the back? No, I don't think he's going to do that. I don't think it's going to make that big of a difference.
I'm done fighting, he said. I'm done fighting with the media. I'm done fighting with my coaches. I'm done fighting with Rex Ryan on Get Up. I'm done fighting with y'all on social media. You could feel it, that mix of peace and power in his words, like a man who's finally realized the fight was never with people, but with patience itself. It's like James Jones said, Shiloh's the passenger who knows he could drive better but lets the clown at the wheel crash first. While the coaches argue over plays and systems, Shiloh's mastering something way deeper: divine patience. That's the one thing this franchise has never had. The Browns couldn't spell patience even if you handed them the first 6 letters. Because this whole situation, it's way bigger than football. This is a spiritual test wearing a Cleveland Browns jersey. While everyone else is counting snaps and whispering about depth charts, Shiloh's counting blessings like touchdowns. He's not waiting for opportunity. He's letting God run the playbook, and that kind of unshakable faith, that's exactly what's got the front office sweating right now. They can't control what they don't understand. And Shiloh's peace? Oh, it's shaking their entire system to the core. How do you manage a man who refuses to let stress live rent-free in his mind? He's not up at 2 a.m. scrolling through social media or fishing for validation from trolls. He's not out here dropping cryptic tweets at coaches or turning press conferences into therapy sessions. Nah, Shiloh's too focused for that. He's up early, training like it's game day every day, grounded in his faith and locked in on his purpose.
The narrative around Shedeur Sanders is changing. And Shedeur Sanders dropped a tweet yesterday, made the internet go berserk. But we're going to talk about it real quick. And I told y'all the Browns starting to switch up. Everybody getting ready for Shedeur. But I'm finna tell y'all know our guy, that guy, him, Mr. Sanders. Currently the backup quarterback of the Cleveland Browns, right behind Lil Dylan. You know, we got to give Dylan his respect because he is the starting quarterback. Only because this man, Kevin Stefanski, has a whole lot of faith in something that we just can't see.
Through it all, his message stays the same. Don't worry, trust God in every situation. Even when I don't know what to do, I've learned that God will always deliver. Those were Shedeur Sanders' own words. Raw, powerful, and real. And for a rookie quarterback who's been through ups and downs since draft night, that kind of mindset hits different. People can feel it. The maturity, the discipline, the peace that can't be faked. Fans have noticed too. One even said, for this young man to still be focused, not letting anything shake him, I commend Shiloh. I want him to keep doing what he's doing. His time will come. And honestly, they're right. The way he carries himself, calm and confident, is like he already knows how this story ends. And spoiler alert, he wins. But the Browns front office, they can't process that kind of calm. They're used to panic mode, that constant energy of desperation that screams, we drafted you to fix 4 decades of failure. Yet Shiloh's not carrying their baggage. He's not here to heal the past. He's too busy focusing on something bigger than stats, bigger than the field, something divine pushing him straight past the 50-yard line into destiny territory. When Shiloh talks about trusting God, it's not some PR polished church line. He means it. He's living that faith every single day, and it shows. Picture this. While Cleveland's front office is crunching numbers on 4th down analytics, Shiloh's out here running faith analytics. He's measuring peace per prayer, logging gratitude reps like it's game film, and staying spiritually fit in ways no spreadsheet could ever track. Who even does that? And honestly, maybe that's exactly what the Browns need. Because if the people upstairs trusted the divine half as much as they trust their stats, maybe they wouldn't keep fumbling their future every other season. But Shiloh's built from a different mold. He knows when he's being disrespected, but he also knows when to let it slide. That mix of awareness and control, that's elite. It's what separates grown men from hotheads, and people are starting to notice that the narrative around Shedeur Sanders is changing fast. Yesterday, Shiloh dropped one tweet, just one, and the internet went berserk. The energy around Cleveland flipped overnight, and now everyone's talking about it. Folks are whispering the Browns are starting to switch up because deep down, they know change is coming, and Shiloh's the one bringing it. Right now, he's technically the backup quarterback sitting behind Lil Dylan. And yeah, we got to give Dylan his props because he earned that spot. But even then, you can feel the tension. Coach Kevin's betting on a plan that no one else seems to understand, and that's got the whole city watching like a movie waiting for the plot twist.
Shedeur is. We know who he is, what type of player and person that he is. But yesterday, Shedeur Sanders dropped a tweet, and the world went facts. As the son of a preacher, as a preacher's kid, as a child that has lived multiple facets of life, that has done a lot of wrong and a lot of right.
Because here's the thing, Shiloh doesn't need to post subliminals or fire off cryptic quotes to shake the league. He could easily drop one slick Instagram story and send the entire sports world into meltdown mode before breakfast, but he doesn't. He stays cool, stays low-key, keeps that calm smile through the chaos, and lets his grind and God's timing do all the talking. And that quiet confidence, that's what's driving Cleveland absolutely crazy. The Browns don't know what to do with peace. They really don't. This team thrives on chaos like it's part of their DNA. It's practically a franchise tradition at this point. Think about it. Shedeur Sanders didn't even get in the game when they were up 31-6. It was already a blowout, clock winding down, and still no Shiloh. 2 weeks before that, same story. They were getting smoked, down bad, and again, no Shiloh. At this point, even the fans can see it. This team just doesn't want him to play. Not up, not down, not ever. And it makes no sense. Other teams like Miami throw their backups in all the time, but Cleveland? Nah, they'd rather keep him on ice. Why? Because Shiloh's not part of their usual chaos. He's a different kind of problem. See, when the Browns calm down, they panic. It's like they don't know what to do without drama, so they go searching for a new storm to chase. So when Shiloh walks in cool, composed, and completely unbothered, refusing to feed that drama machine, it scrambles their entire system. The Browns front office runs on emotional fuel, controversy, desperation, urgency. That's their oxygen. But Shiloh's tank? Man, that runs on faith.
Is fighting for his job life by trying to cling to Dillon Gabriel, who was his choice to go forward with, because he took him 50 slots higher than Shedeur went in the 5th round. So Stefanski knows if he gives in to Shedeur, I think he's a goner. You know, like that's going to be the end of him, because he's dug in internally with the owner and the GM that he just wants no part of Shedeur. He doesn't like him. He doesn't like the way he handles himself. He doesn't like the way he carries himself in the locker room and the social media and all those things that nobody liked about him.
While everyone's out here overanalyzing his bench time like it's a scandal, Shiloh's already mastered something deeper, the quiet art of patience, the kind of patience only the spiritually undefeated understand. He's sitting there like a man holding a secret, because in his mind, this isn't a setback, it's a setup. Every snap he doesn't take right now is just another page in the story leading up to the moment he finally steps in and flips the whole narrative upside down. And when that moment comes, oh, it's gonna shake the league. Every doubt whispered by analysts, every headline trying to box him in, all of it's just fuel for the comeback. Because whether it's a perfect debut or a gritty, grinded out win, one thing's for sure. When Shiloh finally gets that shot, Cleveland's about to experience what folks are calling the Jackson Dart effect. That kind of energy that changes the entire vibe of a team overnight. You can feel it. That same buzz New York had when they finally said, all right, we got a shot. I believe in this guy. Now it's Cleveland's turn. They've got a winnable home game on deck. The crowd's ready, the lights are bright, and everyone's thinking the same thing. If Shiloh steps on that field, the whole stadium's gonna erupt. The energy's gonna be wild. You can already picture it. Defense flying around, fans on their feet, and the entire vibe in that building flipping the moment his helmet goes on. This is the perfect setup for a streak. Every headline questioning his readiness, every talking head doubting his skills, all of it's just fuel for the highlight reel that's already writing itself. You can practically see it. Slow motion shots of Shiloh warming up, cameras zooming in on that locked in stare, the background filled with soulful gospel music and tension so thick you could slice it with a knife.
Or, I promise you, that stadium and that team and that offense, whether it goes great or it doesn't, at very least you're going to get the Jackson Dart effect that the Giants had.
That's a good.
In New York, where they said, all right, we got a shot. I believe in this guy.
You got to do it at home right now. You got a home game.
A winnable home.
It's a winnable home game. If Dillon do play, the crowd going to come in the game like, if Shedeur plays, it's going to be lit up in there.
Yeah, it will be.
You know what I'm saying?
It will be.
Defense going to come fly around. Man, it's the perfect time to start you a little streak if you want to start.
Then, boom, touchdown. Destiny confirmed. And suddenly all those critics who doubted him are out here pretending they believed in him from day one. The silence, the patience, the poise. It all leads to that one moment of truth. And when it hits, it's going to be electric. Meanwhile, up in that glossy executive box, the Browns brass are probably holding another one of their endless strategy meetings. You know the kind. 12 suits nodding like they know football, while the owner's staring at an old scouting report like it's a Sudoku puzzle he can't figure out. They think they understand Shiloh, but they really don't. Because Shedeur Sanders isn't just another player, he's built different. As the son of a preacher, he carries both the weight of wisdom and the fire of faith. He's seen highs and lows, done wrongs and rights, and learned from every step of it. And that's what makes him dangerous. Every quiet rep, Every patient day on the sidelines, every unnoticed film session, it's all sharpening him, making him even more lethal for when that moment finally arrives. You can picture it now, late night solo workouts after practice, headphones in, no cameras, no noise, just that laser focus, that hunger, that little confident smirk he gives right before everything changes. Because deep down, Shiloh knows. When reporters bring up competition, Shiloh doesn't flinch, because that's not arrogance, that's assurance. The kind that comes when you know you're walking in alignment with something way bigger than a playbook. He's not moved by headlines or media noise. He's grounded in purpose, moving like a man who already knows how the story ends. And yeah, the talk around the team says it all. The Browns have been putting all their eggs in the Dillon Gabriel basket, and they're not even hiding it. He's been the golden child since day one. The favorite, the one who gets every benefit of the doubt. That's not shocking though, it's the Cleveland way. They pick their chosen one, hype him up like the next big thing, and hope nobody notices the cracks. But here's the twist. If you're gonna crown someone like that, you better be right. Because when the day comes that Shiloh finally gets his shot, the world's gonna see who really belonged under center all along. And let's be real, when Shiloh wins that job, he's not gonna look back and say, wow, thank goodness I got those 10% backup reps.
And if that's not what you're trying to do, don't get me. If you ain't trying to change the franchise or the culture, don't get me. So you should know history repeats itself over and over and over. And I've done it over and over and over. So it should be no question why NFL franchise should.
Nah, he's not built like that. He's not out here chasing scraps or small wins. He's chasing destiny. While the Browns are obsessing over depth charts, Shiloh's out here building destiny charts. They're planning for a season. He's preparing for a legacy. And when those two worlds finally collide, oh, it's gonna be beautiful chaos. The kind of redemption Cleveland hasn't seen since LeBron came home and turned heartbreak into history. Because here's the truth, talent always forces recognition. You can't bury a diamond forever no matter how hard you try. And Shedeur Sanders, he's that diamond, calm, composed, and cut by pressure. Even the most clueless front office eventually figures it out. When you've got a once-in-a-generation player sitting in your locker room, a man who handles adversity like a monk in cleats, you don't bench him, you build around him, and soon enough, Cleveland's gonna realize it the hard way. And when that awakening finally hits, all the noise, all the shade, all the media chatter, it's gonna vanish faster than a Cleveland playoff run. Shiloh's maturity isn't weakness, it's weaponized calm. It's power wrapped in patience. He's not ignoring the politics, he's elevating beyond them. While everyone else scrambles for attention, he's mastering the art of silence, a silence that speaks louder than any press conference ever could. Right now, he's fighting for his job, but not out of desperation. He's fighting with grace, letting his work speak instead of his words. Meanwhile, head coach Kevin Stefanski, he's clinging to Dillon Gabriel like a life raft. Dillon was his guy, drafted 50 slots higher than Shiloh, so of course he's going to defend that pick with everything he's got, because deep down, Stefanski knows the second he gives Shiloh that shot and it works, it's over for him. That's the beginning of the end of his control. Inside that organization, the tension's thick. The whispers are loud. The owner and GM already made it clear they're backing their coach's favorite, and they've painted Shiloh as the problem.
Through it all is to not worry, but lean on and trust God in every situation. Even when I don't know what to do, I've learned that God will always. Shedeur Sanders stated a profound message from rookie quarterback Shedeur Sanders. Now, we know he has been going through trials and tribulations since pretty much the draft night, man. For this young man to still be focused, not letting anything bother him, not letting anything tear his ship down. I commend Shedeur as a fan and definitely as a supporter of his. I want him to keep doing what he's doing. His time will come, and boy, oh boy, it's always.
They don't like how he carries himself, they say. They don't like his confidence, his faith, his presence. But here's the truth. What they call ego is actually discipline. What they call arrogance is conviction. They expect outrage, but he brings scripture. They want chaos, and he answers with clarity. It's like watching chaos swing at serenity, and serenity just smiles back, untouched. That's how deep Shiloh's composure runs. You can feel the energy in Cleveland shifting. Coaches starting to sense that quiet confidence spreading through the locker room like a silent current of power. Reporters are circling, whispering about a new kind of vibe, something that's changing behind the scenes. Even the fans can feel it. That strange electric pulse that something big is brewing, something they can't quite explain yet. That's how every movement starts, not with fireworks, but with a low rumble that slowly grows until it's unstoppable. And before the front office can drop another polished PR statement about competition or development, it happens. Boom! The whole narrative flips overnight, and the world finally sees what Shedeur Sanders was building in silence all along. And just like that, the guy they benched becomes the headline they can't escape. That's the real power of patience. It doesn't shout, it waits, then it dominates. Shedeur Sanders is living proof of that. Reporters keep asking the same question over and over, trying to get a rise out of him. Why aren't you getting reps?
Over a long time does make a big difference, though. Especially if you're not a first-round quarterback. No, if you're just a rookie. I mean, I'd like to see him play. I'd like to see him have the opportunity to go through some of those reps just from the speed component to it all. I think there's an obvious advantage to that. It's going to be better than him just sitting on the sidelines. But again, this speaks to them putting all their eggs in the Dillon Gabriel basket with the idea that they think it's more valuable for Dillon to get all of them, and they just don't have enough reps.
And his answer? Pure composure. He said, "That's not my place to answer. It's not in my control, so I don't even think about it. There's a lot of people who would love to have this opportunity, and I'm thankful to be here." That right there, that's grace under fire. While the world's trying to bait him into drama, Shiloh's out here dropping wisdom, because sometimes silence is the loudest statement in the room. Sooner or later, the Browns are going to realize that what they called passive was actually pure control. Shedeur doesn't chase the moment. He creates it. And when his moment finally hits, it's going to make every ounce of Cleveland's hesitation look like straight up amateur hour. The man's been giving a masterclass in composure while the franchise fumbles its own storyline week after week. But that's the Browns for you. Chaos is their comfort zone. They could have avoided all this mess, but where's the drama in that? This team can't survive peace. Give them calm, and they'll start a storm. Hand them a quarterback with faith and patience, and they'll call it lack of fire. Give them talent, and they'll find a way to argue about it. That's how deep their dysfunction runs. It's practically part of the brand. What makes this even wilder is how rare Shiloh's mindset really is in this league. You don't see this kind of maturity, not on a team where emotional stability lasts about as long as a halftime lead. He's not feeding into the noise, not matching their chaos. He's letting it spin around him like static, bouncing off a wall of unshakable faith. While everyone else is panicking, Shiloh's locked in. Quiet, grounded, and ready. He knows timing is everything, and his is coming soon. When it does, Cleveland won't just get a quarterback, they'll get a revelation, because Shedeur Sanders isn't just playing for a spot, he's rewriting what patience looks like in professional football. Because deep down, Shedeur knows something Cleveland still hasn't figured out. Every storm runs out of thunder eventually, and when it does, the only thing left standing is what's been grounded from the start. That's Shedeur Sanders, grounded, unbothered, divinely patient, and laser focused on his moment. The Browns can keep playing politics, pretending their quarterback room is some kind of fair competition, but destiny doesn't wait for permission. People keep debating it, saying stuff like, if you're not a first-round pick, if you're just a rookie, you've got to get those reps, get used to the speed, or you'll fall behind. And yeah, sure, that's true for most players. But Shiloh's not most players. Cleveland's still stuck on giving every rep to Dillon Gabriel, convinced he's their long-term bet, thinking it's somehow better for the team. But what they're really doing is stalling the inevitable, because when purpose decides it's go time, it doesn't ask, it acts. It walks onto that field, straps up, and changes everything, right in front of the same people who tried to delay it. The Browns might think they're in control of this story, but they're just pressing pause on what's already been written, because destiny doesn't wait in line. It shows up when it's ready. And no matter how long they try to hold Shedeur back, his time is coming whether they like it or not. His story was written long before draft night, by someone way bigger than Cleveland could ever imagine. And if you've been paying attention, you already know exactly how this ends. Not with revenge, not with bitterness, but with victory.
City loves football. I think you probably have felt that since you've been drafted. Yeah. That is what this city is about, the Cleveland Browns. What's kind of that reception been like for you from the fans?
It been extremely well, I would say. I understand. Really, I feel like the Browns fans, they just want something to hope for, and they've been wanting it so long. So finally, I'm here to change that. I'm here to...
Pure, peaceful, divine victory. The kind that doesn't need noise or drama. Just execution. This isn't about proving the critics wrong anymore. It's about proving that faith, focus, and patience still win in a world obsessed with chaos. When that moment comes, it'll be victory wrapped in calm, powered by purpose, and sealed with that unmistakable Sanders signature. Because no matter how loud the thunder gets, Shiloh's story always ends the same way. With grace, glory, and the spotlight, he earned the right way. While the whole world's scrambling for answers, Shiloh already has the simplest truth of all. God's got it. That's his anchor. You'd think after all the heartbreak, bad drafts, and quarterback disasters this franchise has survived, somebody up in that building would finally say, if you're not here to change the culture, don't give me another excuse. But nah, Cleveland's still out here running the same tired playbook of confusion and chaos. History keeps repeating itself over and over again, and somehow they still act shocked when the same story plays out. You'd think by now they'd say, maybe we should stop forcing it. But nope, they're still tinkering, still second-guessing, still treating pure talent like it's a mystery they can't solve. Meanwhile, Shiloh's just over there vibing, peaceful, patient, completely unbothered while the franchise plays chess with chaos. He's sitting mid-center in the storm like a monk in cleats, calm, focused, and already knowing exactly how it all ends. Because when your faith is stronger than their confusion, there is no competition. You can't stress a man who already handed the wheel to something higher than himself, and that right there, that's what makes Shiloh dangerous. Not just his arm strength, not just his accuracy, but that deep, unshakable peace. That kind of calm doesn't crack under pressure. It absorbs it. Every snub, every slight, every not yet from the coaching staff just turns into quiet fuel. Every time they overlook him, he grows sharper, stronger, and more centered. The more they test his patience, the more they expose their own lack of it. It's almost poetic. They think they're testing him, but really he's testing them. Shiloh's not sitting around waiting for a break. He is the break. The moment Cleveland doesn't even see coming. He's the shift that sneaks up on the franchise right when they think they've got everything under control. And when it hits, it's gonna change everything from the locker room to the front office to the city itself, because Cleveland lives for football. The fans feel it deep in their bones, and Shiloh, he's the kind of player that city's been praying for without even realizing it. Calm in the storm, fearless under pressure, and led by something bigger than any playbook could ever hold. When he steps up, it's not just another quarterback taking the field, it's destiny walking into the huddle, ready to rewrite Cleveland's story once and for all. Yeah. That's what this city's about. The Cleveland Browns. Heart, struggle, and undying loyalty. When Shiloh was asked what the fan reception's been like, he said, "It's been extremely well. I feel like Browns fans just want something to hope for. They've been wanting it for so long. And I'm here to change that." You could feel the truth in every word, because that's what Cleveland is. A city built on faith, pain, and persistence. These fans don't ask for perfection. They just want someone who won't fold when it gets hard, and Shedeur Sanders is that someone. So how long can they keep pretending not to see what's right in front of them? How long can they ignore the fact that this man's presence is exactly what that locker room's been starving for?
Like Shedeur Sanders just made an incredible, and Shedeur Sanders has broken his silence, man. We know the quarterback for the Cleveland Browns has not really been online that much this season. Shedeur has definitely been locked in. Well, I'm here to tell you, he took to Twitter today to drop a perfect.
This is Shedeur essentially saying,
Shiloh's not just another player, he's the missing heartbeat, the calm center that this team's chaos has been screaming for all along. And when his moment finally arrives, it's not gonna feel like some rookie debut. It's gonna feel like a correction, a divine reset that forces the Browns to face what they've been running from all these years. Let them keep hiding behind excuses like system fit and readiness, because once the dust settles, once the fake noise fades and those lights hit that field, it's game over. Shedeur Sanders won't just be stepping into a position, he'll be stepping straight into purpose. The kind of purpose that doesn't need to shout, doesn't need to beg, and definitely doesn't break under pressure. It just shows up, locks in, and lets destiny handle the highlight reel. And when that moment comes, oh, Cleveland's not just getting a quarterback, they're getting a revelation. A wake-up call wrapped in calm confidence. Living proof of what faith, focus, and unshakable belief can do when the world counts you out. So if you're feeling this journey, if you believe in the rise that's coming, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Because this story, oh, it's far from over. We'll see you on the next one.